All right, for those watching on YouTube, our Watch Fox YouTube channel, and on WACH.com, we appreciate you tuning in. We're going to hang out for a while and watch these storms move through the Midlands. We are monitoring the potential for tornadoes, but our main concern is going to be strong straight line wind up to 60 miles per hour. So right now, we just had a new warning issued for several counties. It includes Aiken County, parts of Lexington County, and it does not look like it includes Richland County just yet. So the southern part of Lexington County, just southwest of Lexington and Columbia. New warning in effect until 11:30 this morning. Damaging straight line wind up to 60 miles per hour, hail up to penny size possible. And notice right there it says tornado possible. Within this line, it's possible at any given moment we get a little notch to develop and quickly drop a brief tornado. We're not seeing enough on the rotation, or the National Weather Service isn't, to warrant a tornado warning. But if we get something to spike up quickly, then a tornado warning will then be issued. So right now the primary concern is, again, damaging straight line wind up to 60 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and examine this a little bit closer and take a closer look here. And I'll start with our velocity product. This basically is taking an inner look within the storm to tell how quickly it's moving, the winds within that storm. Green means the wind is moving toward the radar, and red means it's moving away from the radar. We have a couple of different options here to show what we're looking at here. There's a gust front. I could tell was right around there, that leading edge. That's going to be your first punch of air. That's the punch of strong wind. Moving into Aiken County right now. Should be arriving in Aiken pretty soon. Experiencing those gusty winds at this moment in Batesburg, Leesville as well. And now that's moving into Lexington County. So I-20 travelers, it's going to get bumpy between Columbia and Augusta here in the near term. Again, heavy downpours, frequent lightning, and those strong wind gusts are going to be the main concerns, at least in the near term. So we have that warning. This warning back behind it will expire at 10:45 this morning for Saluda and Edgefield counties. So that's what we're looking at for the time being here. It's been a bumpy morning to say the least. We've had numerous storms already this morning. Wider view will show that we have additional showers and storms across the state of South Carolina. The farther north you go, the less severe this rain gets. And that's why that is not severe warned. And there's a good chance you're going to stay severe free the rest of the day in the northern Midlands. But we do have some frequent lightning around Fairfield County and Newberry counties at this moment. Some heavy downpours there as well. And then as we head into Columbia, while it's dry at this second, rain is on the way, and it's going to be arriving here pretty soon. The worst of this storm may miss Columbia just to the south, but again, at the very least, there is some heavy rain just now moving toward Chapin, getting close to Irmo right now. Here's Lexington, just on the edge of that severe thunderstorm warning. That's again in effect until 11:30 this morning. Columbia, you are not under the severe thunderstorm warning at this time. We'll see if the Weather Service decides to add a warning for this part of the storm farther to the north, but for the time being, you are severe thunderstorm warning free. Again, here's Chapin over toward Little Mountain, heavy downpours, occasional lightning strikes here along I-26 as this approaches Richland County right now. Richland County not currently under the severe thunderstorm warning, but the southern half of Lexington County is. Right now, Batesburg, Leesville experiencing some heavy downpours at this moment. And I would say the most severe part of this storm is currently moving into Aiken County. Heavy rainfall, likely some strong wind gusts here moving into Aiken County right along I-20 at this moment, approaching Aiken. As far as hail is concerned, we have not really had much of a threat of that this morning, and we're still not seeing really anything popping up on the radar at this time up and down this line. So that's good to see. As far as the strong winds are concerned, there's that gust front right there, that change in wind direction from the inflow into the storm to those strong outflow winds. We're getting that moving toward Aiken at this moment. So I would estimate the strongest of the winds are pretty close to I-20 right now in Aiken County and moving toward Aiken pretty quickly here. As far as farther north is concerned, there also are some strong gusts moving into Lexington County. Tornado watch is in effect until 1 o'clock this afternoon for all the counties highlighted in yellow. So that's basically the central and the southern Midlands. While there is somewhat of a tornado threat, our main concern with these storms is going to be 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, or potentially even stronger, with the strongest of those winds. That's strong enough to knock down power lines and trees. We've seen numerous reports of that so far today, and I'll give you an update on some of the storm reports we have seen so far today in just 1 second. I do want to show you the future watch for the rest of the day today. Best chance at storms will be between now and 2 p.m. Once we get toward the mid-afternoon, while there could be some lingering light showers, the rain threat's going to be diminishing at that point, and then it continues to push southward by late this afternoon. By dinner time, we are likely rain-free, and it should be a dry evening. I know South Carolina has their home opener for their series against Georgia this evening, the baseball team, so I think we're going to be in good shape there as long as they can dry off the field in time for that game this evening. Big picture, here's the severe weather threat across the southeast today. Level 3 enhanced risk stretching from Texas across Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and the southern tip of South Carolina near the low country. And the reason that this particular part of the country is highlighted is we're expecting strong new development to take place late today and overnight tonight. So we're going to have another situation where a cluster of storms moves our way late tonight and arrives tomorrow. Here is the cluster of storms we're going to be dealing with the next few hours. That pushes away from us by this evening. But check out to our west here. New development across the deep south that's going to move to the east overnight and could very well move into the Midlands around this time tomorrow morning. This right here is going to be our last chance at rain for a little while. But these could be on the strong side. We do have a level 1 risk for severe storms in place for tomorrow, so we're not quite done with the severe threat just yet. Once we get through today, it's just something we'll have to keep an eye on. I do expect these storms to clear out tomorrow afternoon, and we should dry out from that point through the upcoming weekend. Quick recap on what happened earlier this morning. Between 3 and 4 a.m., we had a couple tornado warnings issued. Some of those may have woken you up with those wireless emergency alerts sent to your phone. I was one of those folks, in fact. And here's a look at all the damage reports we had last night. All those markers indicate where we had tree damage. Quite a few trees knocked down last night due to severe thunderstorms stretching from really north of Columbia and the northern Midlands hit hardest by those storms. This line right here is where the National Weather Service is suspecting that there may have been a tornado last night. Now, they're not going to be able to send crews out to confirm that until tomorrow, but again, there is that possibility that there was indeed a tornado from near Whitmire near Newberry County, across Fairfield County, just south of Winnsboro, near Ridgeway, north of Blythewood, and then ended just north of Elgin. That's where they're kind of seeing a consistent track of damage, and actually took a drive up near Ridgeway this morning. I myself didn't see much damage, but I know there are numerous reports of some trees down that did cause some issues early this morning. Again, this was between 3 and 4 o'clock this morning in the northern Midlands. So if you were awoken by those storms, there is good reason. They were definitely packing a punch with heavy rainfall, a lot of thunder out there as well, and we certainly had possibility of some at least strong straight line winds, but maybe even a tornado with that storm as well. So that's what happened last night, and that's why we are kind of harping the importance of staying weather aware today. If you don't have it already, please download the Skywatch weather app to stay alert. If you have a warning or a watch issued for your location, that's going to get sent to you immediately for these severe weather situations. And of course, we have our updated forecast videos, all on that app in the palm of your hand. So it's going to be handy to have, especially on a day like today. So the time right now, 10:44. I am joined by meteorologist Clara Faith this morning here in the studio. She's kind of keeping us up to date online as well. Clara, are you seeing anything at this moment that's catching your eye, whether it's on social or on the radar at this time?
Nothing's really catching my eye right now. Of course, the chat is busy. A lot of people are talking. The National Weather Service is definitely watching for some very weak rotation in the southern parts of Saluda, as you was talking about, not quite a warn for a tornado warning, but just keeping people very much informed as we go throughout the rest. Also staying up to date. What are social media? Most people are asking questions. Taylor, we did get one question on Facebook. Someone asked in our messaging saying, would Lexington be someone that could see a tornado warning? Is that something possible for Lexington area?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. Folks watching in Lexington, you're not, well, the southern part of Lexington is on the northern fringe of this warning here. I would say I'm not too concerned about tornado warning, at least right now, for you folks in Lexington, but let's go ahead and take a closer look at that part of the storm. So here's Lexington right now, rain starting to move in. Heavy rain back here on the west side of the county, moving out of Saluda County at this moment. So certainly does not look like there's any imminent tornado threat here. I know earlier the Weather Service did say there was some threat for some weak rotation in Saluda County. Just as of what I've seen, at least recently, I'm not really seeing anything that stands out on the radar as far as rotation is concerned. But we'll go and take another look. Yeah, it looks like pretty straight line at this moment. Perhaps something very weak there near Batesburg, Leesville. Pull up our rotation product to see if that's picking up on anything, and not seeing anything at this time. So all good news right now. All quiet at this moment. It looks like a couple counties have been dropped from the tornado watch in Georgia, I believe, or perhaps in up in the upstate as well. So things improving on the backside of this storm system. But again, as far as Lexington is concerned, I would say no immediate threat for a tornado. Our main concern is going to be those straight line winds moving into Lexington right now. And
we do have rain moving through.
What's that?
Just heard thunder.
Okay, yeah, there you go. So, starting to get closer and closer to the metro as we speak. In fact, let's go ahead and pop up the radar once again. Handful of lightning strikes popping up here near Irmo at this time and in Lexington. So you may be hearing the thunder in Lexington, and that's now moving into Columbia, that rainfall. It's going to get heavier and heavier here in Columbia here pretty soon. So get ready for some downpours that could disrupt your lunch plans over the next hour or two. Right now, I think we're in a pretty good spot in Columbia to avoid really nasty weather. These storms are on a somewhat of a weakening trend here locally in Columbia and northward. Yes, there's going to be lightning. Yes, there could be some heavy downpours. And yes, there could be some gusty winds. But I would say by far the strongest looking storm at this time is down near Augusta and Aiken County. And that's where we have that active severe thunderstorm warning in place until 11:30 this morning. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are the main concern. Could be some small hail, although our hail product is not showing any of that at this time. Heavy downpours, and then we're going to continue to keep an eye out for a brief spin-up tornado. Not seeing anything here really anywhere in the Midlands that suggests that's an immediate issue, but we are going to continue to keep an eye on it. There may be some mild rotation. You see the blue dots there near Aiken, where there may be some mild rotation ongoing. And there's the gust front right there, that transition in winds from the greens to the reds. Now, if we start to see these light up and brighten up a little bit, that'd be a sign of maybe some tightening rotation along that gust front. So this is probably an area to watch more than anywhere for possibility of a brief spin-up tornado is in Aiken County. We do not have any active tornado warnings. We do have a tornado watch. And just a reminder, the difference between a watch and a warning is a watch means we have the ingredients in place for a possible tornado, but nothing imminent. When a warning is issued, that means there is a tornado occurring or there is the possibility of a tornado in the immediate future, and that's when you need to take the action of getting to your shelter. When we have these severe thunderstorm warnings, you certainly want to be indoors and away from windows. Don't necessarily need you to be in the lowest level of your home, though. Just be indoors, ride this out as it continues its push across the Midlands. Tornado watch continues for central and southern parts of the Midlands until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Would not be shocked if this is dropped pretty soon for Saluda County, and basically how this usually goes is once the main line clears to the east of your location, the watch starts getting canceled early. So as time wears on, I would imagine this watch will drop for counties from the west to the east. I will say that things are not looking too bad for Columbia and areas northward. Our main concern at this hour is going to be for Aiken County as those storms continue their march to the east-southeast. And these are moving pretty quickly at about 50 miles per hour. All right, so just checking a couple things here real quick. Here's Future Watch for the rest of the day today, an estimate of what it could look like at noon later on, about an hour from now, as this line continues its march to the east-southeast. By this afternoon, really most of us should be largely in the clear as far as the severe weather threat is concerned. Lingering showers possible through the mid-afternoon and then should trail off and dry out by dinner time, and I expect it to be dry throughout this evening as well. So that's the good news. The bad news is we might get more strong storms tomorrow morning, believe it or not. Storms that start off to our west here in this highlighted area in orange, an enhanced risk for severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center. That is where we could see some intense storms develop later on today. And the remnants of that, what we call a mesoscale convective system, an MCS, will race eastward, and some of the remnants of that could move into the Midlands again right around this time tomorrow. It's not going to rain all day tomorrow, but those storms will be possible right around lunchtime on Friday, then should clear to the east as we head into Friday afternoon. So, go ahead.
Yeah, severe thunderstorm warning that's currently happening until 11:30. They have dropped Edgefield, so it's just Aiken and Lexington County.
Just got an update on that. So, all right, let's go back and take a closer look at that. So we continue with the severe thunderstorm warning until 11:30 this morning, and so good update here for Lexington County and the Columbia Metro. They've kind of cut off the northern fringe of that warning, but have continued it farther south. So like I've been saying, the Aiken County portion of this storm, primary area of concern. Southern Lexington County is also in the warning, but the city of Lexington no longer in the severe thunderstorm warning. Things are looking much better for you folks here. For Columbia, heavy rain possible, occasional lightning, but the severe threat is dropping for Columbia, and I think we're going to get through this unscathed in Columbia and areas north, so that's great to see. Those of you in the northern Midlands, kind of a similar situation with some moderate to heavy rain at times, but no severe threat ongoing for you folks up there. And basically at this point, Clara, I'm just thinking that Aiken County and then eventually Orangeburg counties are going to be kind of our main concern for the next hour or two. Yeah, after that, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. So things looking promising here. That is certainly good news. We'll stay on here for just a little bit longer just to keep you all updated on down watching in the southern Midlands. We still have the severe thunderstorm warning. It still has the tornado possible tag. Shear product showing, again, some pockets of very mild rotation. Nothing imminent as far as a tornado threat is concerned. Might be watching right around here, just to the east of Aiken for possible spin up. Looks like there might be something spiking just a little bit there. Nothing, again, significant, but I'll be watching that closely here in the the immediate future. We just have a couple different ways of looking at our velocity product. Again, red means it's moving away from the radar, green moving toward the radar. When you get bright colors of both those, that's a sign of strong winds in both directions. Start to get that rotation, and that can occasionally be a sign of a tornado. Now, it certainly is not easy to make a tornado happen, but in an environment like this where there is a favorable amount of wind shear, which is basically a change in the wind speed or wind direction as you move higher and up in the sky, any storm that does develop at least has the potential to rotate, and that's been the case across much of the country over the past 24 hours. Tennessee, Alabama got hit hard yesterday and last night, and we've had our fair share of storms here locally as well, that's for sure. So time right now, 10:54. We do have an active severe thunderstorm warning in place until 11:30 this morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Taylor Kanost, joined by meteorologist Clara Faith, and we're the SkyWatch weather team keeping you up to date on the severe weather situation here for the Midlands. We do have a tornado watch in place until 1 o'clock this afternoon. I will say it does look like we are going to get through this without anything significant for most of the Midlands. My primary concern right now is for Aiken County and Orangeburg counties. Areas farther north, it's looking promising that we will get through this without anything significant. But for the time being, the Storm Prediction Center still does have us in that tornado watch until 1 o'clock this afternoon, locally across the Midlands. So that's the good news at this time. Claire, are you getting any updates or any questions from social media?
No questions. Okay. Just one update. Just let you guys know from last night, we do have some news crews going into the Kershaw County area just to do some scanning. So as you go throughout today, you'll probably see a lot of posting on social media, what kind of occurred from last night and things like that.
Yes, lots of reports of trees down there. And there may have been a tornado there last night as well. No confirmation of that just yet. Since the Weather Service is still busy today, they're going to wait until tomorrow to send survey crews out in parts of Newberry, Fairfield, and Kershaw counties to assess if there was indeed a tornado there early this morning between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. There were a couple of tornado warnings for those locations, and certainly signs of rotation on radar. And there have been reports of trees down along that path where there may have been a tornado. So they'll try to confirm that tomorrow. Back to right now, though, looks like we have a bit of a Boeing segment here on the radar, which is sometimes a sign of some intensifying winds. So just east of Aiken, moving into eastern parts of Aiken County near Wagoner. Get ready for a possibility of some strong wind gusts moving in your direction. Augusta's getting slammed at the moment. Heavy rainfall, likely some gusty winds there as well. But the lone severe thunderstorm warning at this time is for Aiken and far southern Lexington County until 11:30. The warning that was previously in effect for parts of the city of Lexington has been cut off and basically shrunken down to this specific part of this storm system. So this is the area we are monitoring for the possibility of some strong wind gusts. And
Taylor, someone wants to know, are we going to see hail?
It's unlikely, Clara, that we do see hail. We'll get to that in just a moment. Quick track of this storm. Wagoner, arrival time here in about 7 minutes at 11:04 this morning. Springfield 11:13. North, you may get clipped by this around 11:21 this morning. Norway, Edisto, right around 11:30 to 11:40 this morning if this maintains its strength and starts moving into Orangeburg County at this time. Clara, back to you for your hail question. We have not really seen any hail with these storms so far this morning, and I'm thinking it's pretty unlikely that we will. Never say never, and if we do see hail, it's going to be most likely with this cluster of storms we are seeing in Aiken County at this time, but our radar is not picking up on any signature for hail right now, so I would say the chances are very low that that's going to be an issue for us. Main concern is going to be those straight line winds that could pose that threat for some tree damage and power lines down, things of that nature. That's going to be your biggest concern right now. Just to the east of Aiken, you see some of the brighter red colors. That's where we're seeing the most intense part of this storm right now. So as we approach 11 o'clock, we still do have this active severe thunderstorm warning in place until 11:30 this morning. Tornado watch continues for much of the Midlands, but this is our lone warning right now. And I do want to take a look here at the velocity. Nice little punch of wind right now east of Aiken. This would be the area to watch for a possible spin up as well. Again, we do have that active warning in place until 11:30 this morning, but there certainly could be some strong wind gusts along Highway 78 east out of Aiken here, between Aiken and Windsor. And right around here is where we could see at least something spin up if it were to happen. That's going to be the area to watch. For the time being, not enough there to warrant a tornado warning, but there is the severe thunderstorm warning, and in these situations, the Weather Service puts out a tornado possible tag on these saying, hey, we're watching for a possibility of a spin up. There's nothing that warrants a tornado warning at this time, but it's possible something could develop quickly.
And we do have some power outages.
Okay, yeah, how are we looking there?
636 power outages, mainly Richland County.
Okay.
We do have some also, mainly in Aiken County as well. Those people kind of getting those storms, those winds. So mainly those are the two hot places. We do have some from Fairfield County. 89 people are without power for Fairfield. So power outages are happening, and the power companies are saying that they're working to do their best to restore power for these people, and they can expect to have power outages mainly as these winds kind of continue to go.
Yeah. Statewide, almost 29,000 customers without power across the entire state. The majority of those are in Anderson County and upstate South Carolina. Over 20,000 without power there this morning. Locally, Kershaw County with just shy of 1,000 without power. And then Clara mentioned locally in Richland County, a few hundred without power at this time. So nothing tremendously widespread, but still there is at least some power outages due to some of the stormy weather we've had since last night and even going back to yesterday for some of you. Right now in Aiken County, I'm continuing to watch this area right here. This is where that cold gust of air, kind of the leading edge of this storm. This is where you're going to have your strongest winds moving east out of Aiken, right along US 78 near Windsor, approaching Windsor right now. And then down the line, it could be affecting Orangeburg County here in the next hour or so. The severe thunderstorm warning does continue until 11:30 this morning. Go ahead and zoom out and show you the entire warning box here. It's just now moving into Wagoner at this time in northern parts of Aiken County. Williston. Maybe impacted here pretty soon, and then the town of North likely to be impacted by at least some heavy downpours, if not more than that, as we head into 11:30 time frame or thereabouts. I do want to pan back to Columbia to give you an update. You are not under an active warning in Columbia or surrounding areas. The metro is going to be severe free, looks like. I know we are under the tornado watch, but we are avoiding severe weather at this moment locally in the Columbia metro. We do have some heavy downpours, occasional lightning, so it's not a time to hang out outside, that is for sure. Heaviest of the rain is currently moving through Irmo, but much of the metro getting some steady rain at this time. But thankfully this is staying below severe levels, and hopefully it stays that way, and I suspect that it will as this continues to move on through. Let me see here. Go and do a quick zoom in and show you some of the communities hit with the heaviest rain right now. So West Columbia getting some heavy rain up to the Grenadier neighborhood over to Irmo. North Lexington experiencing some of the heavy rainfall as well. Not seeing too much lightning here, so that is good news. North side of the metro. We head over to the Dentsville area. Getting some steady, moderate rainfall. Fort Jackson starting to get some of the heavier rain as well. So nothing really standing out as far as severe weather is concerned locally in Columbia. That is for sure. And I do think we're going to get through this round of storms without anything too significant in the Columbia metro. That's good news for us in Columbia, no doubt about that. Now, having said that, we have had multiple rounds of rain recently. This rain on top of our saturated ground, there could be some ponding on the roads if you are heading out soon, so keep that in mind. But as far as actual severe weather is concerned, really not seeing much of a threat for that at this moment across Columbia or surrounding communities. In fact, the lightning is really disappeared here recently, so that's a somewhat of a weakening trend here recently in Columbia. So all good news there for Columbia. Yes, we are having the downpours. Yes, there might be some mild wind gusts here, but beyond that, nothing of significance. As far as the entire Midlands are concerned, here is the current picture. There's definitely been a weakening trend for the northern part of this system. Still occasional lightning and heavier rain, but the strongest part of this storm is back down near Aiken County and near Augusta. That's where we have the lone severe thunderstorm warning that is in place until 11:30 this morning. 60-mile-per-hour winds are the main concern at this time. I don't think we're going to see any more significant weather for the northern Midlands, so this cluster right here is the main concern as we head into the lunch hour. From Augusta through Aiken is where the heaviest of the rain and the strongest of the winds continues to occur. And we do have, we're going to be keeping an eye on the possibility of rotation. We continue to see that there isn't anything terribly significant in that regard on the radar right now. So hopefully that is a trend that continues for us. Clara, any other questions on social?
No, we have no other questions on social.
Okay.
Just kind of maintaining the chat.
All right, good deal, good deal. If there were to be anything that spins up, it would be right along this gradient where you see the red and the green near each other. There's nothing that stands out that would be of concern, but that is an area that we will be watching closely if indeed we do have severe weather. So I think given the downward trend in activity and the improving conditions, I'm going to kind of walk through the rest of the day and what's coming tomorrow one more time, and then I think we should be good to let you go at least for the time being. Just to recap, we do have the tornado watch in place until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Personally, I think this is going to be allowed to be expired prior to that, but we'll wait for the Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center to ultimately decide that for us. I do think the severe weather threat is decreasing significantly for the Midlands, especially the central Midlands. Here's a look at Future Watch for the rest of the day today. Strongest of the storms will likely move toward Orangeburg County and the southern Midlands through 1 o'clock or so this afternoon. Farther north, we will continue to see a chance at some passing showers, but things should trend drier as we head toward the late afternoon. So today's not going to be a complete washout. You're going to dry out by late this afternoon. Dinner time into this evening should be dry. If you're heading to the Fireflies game tonight or the South Carolina baseball game against Georgia, I do think the weather will be dry. Might be a matter of whether or not the field's in good shape or not, but I think it's promising that we do get those games in later on tonight. Overnight and into Friday, that's when we could see some more active weather. This is the outlook from the Storm Prediction Center for severe weather potential for the rest of the day today and overnight tonight. And it's a long swath of level 3 out of 5 risk for severe storms, that enhanced risk. For the Midlands, most of us under the level 2 slight risk for severe weather, but it looks like the best chance for strong storms and damaging wind will be in the area highlighted in orange. What's going to happen today is the cluster of storms we're seeing right now in Georgia and us here in South Carolina, that will clear to the southeast late today out to the Atlantic Ocean. Newly developed strong storms will develop across the deep south all the way back toward Texas. That's going to congeal into a cluster of storms that will march eastward overnight tonight, making its way toward South Carolina around this time tomorrow. So mid to late morning, possibly early afternoon on Friday, another wave of storms will be possible. This is going to be our last chance at stormy weather, but might have just enough instability in the atmosphere to support a damaging wind threat with these around midday on Friday. Last night, we did have a few strong storms. This one right here, a tornado warning storm stretched from Newberry County through Fairfield into Kershaw County, and this line here is where the Weather Service suspects there may have been a tornado last night between 3 and 4 a.m. early in the morning today. It affected communities like Ridgeway, back toward the Whitmire area, much of rural Fairfield County, and then just north of Elgin. All those markers are where we have reports of tree damage from early this morning, so quite a bit of that. The Weather Service is going to confirm that whether or not that was a tornado with field crews tomorrow. If you want to stay up to date on the severe weather situation when you're on the go, download that SkyWatch weather app. We will send out alerts whenever a warning or watch is issued for your location. Up to the minute updates as far as the hourly forecasts are concerned. We have our updated forecast videos on there as well to keep you all safe, especially on days like today when the weather is particularly active. All right, we appreciate you all watching this morning. If we have reason to cut back in to the live stream or on YouTube, we will certainly do so. Again, in the meantime, you can catch the latest forecasts on the SkyWatch weather app and on WACH.com.